In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make tons of MT right now in NBA 2K23 Myteam, and it's going to have to do with these new spotlight challenges. As you guys know, a couple days ago, we got those new Galactic Conqueror spotlights for the Galaxy Blue KG, and we got all of these new challenges to do, and there are some cards that have gone up a ton in price, and I'll be showing you guys which are the best cards to sell right now, and how you guys can be making a lot of MT. So for example, a lot of people that are kind of using a budget team or just using budget players need a guy like Taco Fall. So Taco Fall has gone up a lot in price because of these new spotlight challenges. You guys can see right here, Taco's about 15,000 MT, and even a couple days ago he was a little bit more. Like you can see right now, somebody just undersold him for about 10,000 MT, but normally he's going for about 15,000, and even a couple days ago he was going for about 20 to 25k. So Taco Fall, if you guys have him in your collection, which Anthony does, once again guys, I'm on someone else's different account, I'm on someone else's account, he has Taco Fall, right? So if he's not doing these challenges, he can sell Taco Fall for about 12,000 MT, and that's going to be a lot for just one Amethyst card. So make sure you guys are checking your collections for a guy like Taco Fall. Now another tall center and that a lot of guys are using right now is going to be George Mirasan. I'm not sure if he's as expensive as a guy like Taco Fall, but he might be honestly up there in price. You guys can see he's about 10,000 MT, so a little bit cheaper than a guy like Taco Fall. But once again, if you guys have George Mirasan just sitting around your collection and you're not using him for any reason or for those spotlight challenges, make sure you guys are selling him. He is definitely going for a lot on the auction house. Another card that I feel like a lot of people don't know about is actually going to be from the season 3 I think it's from season 3 deck, the halls. It is going to be the Sapphire Hakeem Olajuwon. Now I'll show you guys which challenge and the reason why he's going for a lot, but basically he's going to be going for about 10 to 15,000 MT for a Sapphire. So if you guys have completed that really hard challenge, or maybe don't need to have the Rockets player, for example, you can just sell him for about 10 to 15k, and that's going to be a lot of MT for one just singular Sapphire. The reason why he is going for a lot, I do believe it's the Chris Mullin challenge. I'm pretty sure it is. If you scroll down to Chris Mullin and you go to, I think, the third or fourth challenge, I think it's his fourth one right here, you have to use 3 Rockets players, and you have to beat like Curry, KD, and Clay, which is really hard to do. So especially with like the Rockets players that most people have, like for example on Anthony's account, like he didn't really have like great Rockets players, and I don't think really anybody has a lot of great Rockets players. Like yes, you can use like, you know, not JaVale McGee, you can use Jalen Green, James Harden, but then after that for your big man, there's really no other good bigs besides a guy like Hakeem Olajuwon. Unless you have like a Yao Ming, there's really no good big man. I know there's like Boban, but yeah, Hakeem Olajuwon is definitely the best center and the best big man to use for this challenge, and it's definitely a hard challenge if you don't have like the greatest cards to use. So Hakeem Olajuwon is going for a ton of MT for that reason. So those are kind of like the cheaper cards, a lot of those like kind of big centers that a lot of people are using for these spotlight challenges. Now talking about some kind of obvious ones, like Steph Curry is up in price a lot, like whether it's his Amethyst version, his Diamond version, Curry is just going to be going for a decent amount on the auction house, because for a lot of those 5th wave challenges, if you guys have been playing the spotlights, the 5th challenge is basically just, you know, win the game with like maybe some requirements like don't turn over the ball 2 times, or, you know, don't let them make 2 threes. The final challenge is you can use 3 diamond cards and below, and you basically just have to win the challenge, win the game. And a lot of people are using Steph Curry because he's one of the best cards for offline challenges and offline grinding, and he's going for about 10 to 15,000 MT. So if you guys have a Steph Curry and you're not using his Amethyst version, maybe you're using some other cards for that challenge, you can definitely be selling him. And same thing with his Diamond version as well. You can see his Diamond is going for a crazy amount of MT, like 60,000 for his Diamond version. I'm not exactly sure what he's going for before the spotlights, but if you guys have this Diamond Curry version, I'd probably recommend selling and just using his Amethyst, because his Amethyst is pretty much going to get the same job done. So if you guys have this Diamond Curry and you're not using him for the spotlight challenges, or maybe you just want to use his Amethyst version, make sure you guys go ahead and sell him. And his Pink Diamond is going to be super rare as well. I'm not sure exactly why is this rare. I think it's probably due to him being like literally the first Pink Diamond card in my team, because he was obviously released in the limitless set. So if you guys have an Amethyst Curry, or you guys do have a Diamond Curry, make sure you guys are selling them on the auction house. Also going back to the season 3 deck, the Hall set, I think it was Ruby Kareem was also pretty expensive as well. Is he extinct on the auction house? Last time I checked, there was only one of him up, so it looks like Kareem, I should say, might be going for a lot, and Magic Johnson as well. So make sure you guys are checking, you know, some of these deck the Hall players. You can see a lot of them, I do believe, are going to be extinct. So if you guys have any of these cards, they're going to be going for a lot of MT, like 7k for McHale. We got about 5,000 MT for Ray Allen. So if you guys have any of these guys like the Amethyst, maybe go for a little bit too. You can see Jerry West. He's pretty expensive as well. I mean, looking in this set, like, I think D-Rob is going for a bit of MT. Bill Russell might be a tiny bit. I don't think Bill's going to go for that much, but make sure you guys are selling like Ruby Cream if you have him. You could probably get like 10 to 15,000 MT out of him. Obviously, like I said before, definitely make sure you guys are selling your Hakeem Olajuwon. Alonzo Mourning's not that expensive. It's just like these taller centers like Wilt Chamberlain. He's going for about 10,000 MT because they're really tall centers that are great defenders, are really nice to have for a lot of these challenges, especially for like teams that not that many people have, like the Rockets. And I think you do need the Lakers for a lot of these challenges as well. So that's going to be another, you know, great way to make a lot of MT is going to be by selling those Christmas Rockets players. Now, another cards or another like group of cards that I want to talk about is basically just going to be all kind of like the meta diamond cards. So if we go back to season 2 and we go to the Transcendent set, we're going to be talking about the Diamond Kristaps. Now, I don't know if he's 45,000 MT just because of the ban and maybe there's not that much on the auction house, or I'm not 100% sure what the reason is, but Kristaps is now up to 45,000 MT. It's probably because he's one of the better diamond cards used for a lot of those challenges. And if you guys are a little bit confused when I'm talking about the diamond challenges, if you go over to the spotlights and you go to any single spotlight challenge, once you get down to the captain, the 5th wave, basically the requirement is you're restricted to use 3 diamond players and below. You can use like all rubies or amethyst if you want to, but you're able to use diamond cards. So a lot of people are running like Shea. That's another card we'll talk about here in a second. A lot of people are running Kristaps, running Evan Mobley, Throw Bailey, Giannis. So those cards are just going to be a little bit more expensive. Like if we take a look at a guy like Throw Bailey, he's going for a little bit more. He was down to like 7,000-8,000 MT. Now he's up to like 10 to 12. So some of them are just like going up a little bit in price. Same thing with a guy like Shea. He's up in price a tiny bit, up to like 30,000 when he was about 20,000 MT below. So if you guys have any of these kind of meta diamond cards like Shea, Luol Deng, Kristaps, I would definitely recommend selling if you guys are not using them on your main team, or if you're not using them for those spotlight challenges. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. There is some amethyst cards, or some Nets cards, I should say, that do go for a little bit. That's the last thing I want to talk about here. The Nets, I do think have a challenge where there's not too many great Nets cards in the game. So a lot of Nets players that are actually good are going for a lot of MT. Like Karis LeVert, he is going for a ton on the auction house right now. We look at shooting guard amethyst from the Nets. I mean, Drazen Petrovic is probably pretty expensive. Yeah, you guys can see Drazen Petrovic and Joe Harris are super expensive, but the amethyst version I want to talk about, is he not even on the auction house anymore? I don't think he is. Is Karis LeVert not even on the auction house? A lot of these cards that are really good for these challenges are kind of becoming extinct. Okay, no, he is on the auction house. That was weird. Oh, because he's a small forward. He's a small forward primary, so he's about 10,000 MT. I was seeing him going for about 15 to 18,000 MT last night, but still going to be pretty expensive. And then I think the last player I want to talk about was Amethyst Kevin Durant. He's pretty expensive as well for that Nets challenge. I'm pretty sure it's his Dreamer card. I'm pretty sure, yeah, 14,000 MT, might be a little bit lower. So yeah, about 10,000 MT, 8 to 10,000 MT for Amethyst Kevin Durant. And there's a challenge somewhere in the spotlight grind where you do need to use a team of full Nets cards, and it is a little bit difficult. But let me know in the comment section down below if there's any other kind of hidden cards that are super expensive right now. But just want to give you guys a video telling you guys which are the most expensive cards to be selling right now, because a lot of you guys might just have those cards in your collection and have legit no idea you even have them. Like a lot of people probably have Taco Fall and don't even realize that they have the card, right, and they're not using them. Same thing with like, the Hakeem Olajuwon, right? Like a lot of people might have this Sapphire Hakeem and have never thought about how much he goes for, but he's actually pretty expensive. So that's just a great way to make MT by selling a lot of these cards. But like I said, let me know in the comment section down below if there's any other cards that are super expensive, that are kind of cheap, that were cheap in the past, or kind of just hidden really expensive cards that people can be selling. Yeah, guys, hopefully this video did help you guys out. If it did, make sure to drop a like and sub down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.